Excellency Datuk Muhammad Arif Iman Yusof, Speaker of the Dewan Rakyat. Please remain standing for the national anthem, Negaraku.
Yes, of course. It can be both ways. It should be both ways. And even with the select committees, it's also both ways. Yeah. Thank you very much. Dr. Lee.
Marima from NCWO. My concern is in regards to what has been raised by a couple of our speakers as well. It is in regards to the young people, where we are talking about 28% of the population. We also understand that the poverty, we are addressing poverty. Thank you very much, YB Maria. Thing is, when we look at especially PPR flats and so on and so forth, the houses are so small that it is really not conducive for our young children to live. The young population, again, it's a very crucial period. We need to empower them. We need to create that space for them to enable them to grow both intellectually and spiritually. Not give them the space, we can't live them. There are a lot of issues, we know, but we as adults need to give them the space. Thank you.
Actually, to be honest, PPR flats do have a day one. And that, I think that the problem that we have in the PPR flats is that building a structure is not enough. You need the people to be committed to carry out programs, to organize all these programs for the people. Then only there will be response. At the present moment, if you look at Lembah, where I am, Lembah Subang 1 and 2, each 2 blocks, per 2 blocks there is a day one. But there are not many programs being run other than using them for weddings and social gatherings. We just can't impose programs on them either.
Thank you. I think we are coming down to the time allocated to us, but I would like to invite the panelists.
One question.
One more? Okay.
One more question. Yesterday, I believe there was a protest. There was a march. Environmental group came to march. Environment group to march to Parliament on July 18 on forest protection. Are you aware about it? Okay. So I'm going to quote what the President of the Pertubuhan Pelindung Khazanah Alam Malaysia Pekat, okay, is asking for the laws which has been 29 years old to be amended because the Orang Asli has been suffering for that. That is being, they has been mistreated during blockage. As you can see in newspaper, how they were manhandled. Okay, so please look into it. Orang Asli also here, right? Some of them.
Ms. Lamania, would you like to comment on this?
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it is a very important point that, when we look at amending our laws as per the request from PERCA, that these aspects be taken fully into account. I mean, forests are very, very critical and important for the Orang Aslis, and yet we have not really taken into account or taken into full consideration their interests. Perhaps when we design some of these laws, which is more, I think we've already heard, exploitative for economic growth and so on. So we really have to bring in that societal dimension into, lawmaking, policy making, and everything.
Yeah, we have 2 minutes left. I'd like to give the panelists some last time for some last words.
If I can just on the proposed amendments to the environment and forestry laws, what we have now set up in Parliament is the Parliamentary Select Committee. One of them is the consideration of bills. And part of that function would be to allow members of the public and the civil societies to present issues for the Select Committee to look at and study and make recommendations. So I think this could be one of them.
Thank you, Vice.
Just last point, harmony with nature for a long time. They don't need any law. We just need to leave them alone. And we should not we should not dictate them according to our perception. We say they are marginalized. It is we who create the situation that margin.
Yeah, thank you. Any last words from the panelists? I think we have 1 minute left. I just want to let the panelists have a.
Terima kasih. Saya Chu Anak Lelaki Betiu daripada Kampung Tazi ini, Pekan Bahar. Soalan saya, macam mana ekonomi orang asli terjaga? Itu saja. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih.
Saya tak ada jawapan yang tepat, tetapi saya nak maklumkan di Dewan Negara yang selama ini saya rasa kurang diberi perhatian, punya wakil senator daripada orang asli. Sekarang ni saya rasa Datuk Issa, kalau Datuk Issa yang mewakili orang asli. So saya dua orang siapa? Ni Bob Manolan, Wabi Manolan juga ada di sini, Orang Pahang juga. So jadi saya nak cadangkan kepada rakan daripada bukan saja orang asli di Dewan Negara. Sekarang ni kita cuba melakukan reformasi Dewan Negara yang mana di bawah perlembagaan sepatutnya orang yang diwakili ialah kelompok berkepentingan, terutama golongan minoriti. OKU juga ada, dan pada masa yang sama juga kita cuba menggalakkan, sebab ayat digunakan dalam perlembagaan, mereka yang berjaya di dalam profession masing-masing. Maksud sepatutnya Dewan Negara itu diwakili oleh tokoh-tokoh perniagaan, tokoh-tokoh profesional, yang mana saya rasa sebelum ini saya mengaku bahawa Dewan Negara itu kurang diberi perhatian. Malah di dalam perlembagaan juga sepatutnya mewakili suara-suara daripada wilayah, suara-suara negeri. Jadi saya rasa hari ini kita tahu selepas 9 Mei dari Perlis sampai ke Sabah, suara-suara ini sudah mula mendapat perhatian. Jadi saya fikir pandangan yang rakan orang asli tadi beri tadi itu, saya rasa perlu rakan saya Bob Manolan, ada senator wakil orang asli di sini, dan juga Nisa Dia, insyaAllah saya cuba panjangkan. Dan sesi kita 22 hari bulan ni, kalau boleh jemput datang. Seminggu lagi. Terima kasih.
Thank you very much. I would like to give a round of applause to the panelists and to yourselves for being such a wonderful audience. Good afternoon. To give a round of applause to the panelists and to yourselves for being such a wonderful audience. Good afternoon.
Thank you to the moderator and all the panelists for the fruitful session. Now, we will continue our agenda for today with the second session of the forum entitled Role of Business and Academia in Achieving the SDGs. And the panelists for the second sessions are Professor Tan Sri Datuk Zulkifli Abdul Razak, Rector of International Islamic University Malaysia, Ms. Ana Marika Dehan, Managing Director of Unilever Malaysia and Singapore, Ms. Mastura Adnan, Head of Brand Sponsorship and Sustainability of Standard Chartered Bank Malaysia Berhad, His Excellency Datuk Muhammad Arif bin Mat Yusof, Speaker of the Dewan Rakyat, Honorable Datuk Haji Muhammad Rashid bin Hasnun, Deputy Speaker of the Dewan Rakyat, Tan Sri Michael Yeo, President of Kingsley Strategic Institute, Datuk Rosmi binti Hamzah, Secretary of the Dewan Rakyat, Ms. Marcella Suazo, United Nations Population Fund, Representative for Malaysia and Thailand, and UN Resident Coordinator at Interim Malaysia, Ms. Boy Ho, CEO of QI Malaysia, Your Excellencies, Honorable Members of Parliament, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen.